She's just sharpening her claws there, and Andrew's doing a great job on camera because it's very difficult when the vehicle is moving, so bear that in mind. Now, will she stay on the road or will she keep crisscrossing? I love these shots when the animals are obscured by a bit of grass. It really does do it for me. It also does it for me when they're pacing down the road straight towards us. So I just want to make sure I've given her enough space to do what she needs to do without feeling she needs to get off the road. And now that thankfully the road is straightening out somewhat, so we'll be able to loop ahead a decent distance and then use the zoom of the camera as she walks towards us. That should do it, provided she plays along with the plan. She's about to pop out onto the road there. And yeah, there you are, spot on, Andrew. Incredibly well camouflaged in that grass. So she's just in the clump of yellowish, more yellower grass on the left of the screen. She's right in there. Now, if any of you have only started watching Safari Live a week ago, this last week has been phenomenal in terms of game viewing. So it's something worth noting because we've had an exceptional run of good luck with great game viewing, and we're loving every second of it, but wonder how much longer it will continue for. There she's poked her head up. She's just grooming herself a little bit, and I wonder whether, look at that camouflage. I mean, if we just popped into this scenario now and asked you to spot a leopard, it would be a difficult task to do so. And I'm sure it'll just be a few seconds before she gets on the move again. It's typical for them to move, have a small breather, and then carry on moving, and here she comes. Brent for Scott. That's affirmative, and she is mobile towards Twin Dams along that road now. It's up to you. There's a chance that that could happen, certainly. I'll keep you updated when she gets to Twin Dams Junction, what her movements are. copy, or you could ask, do you know that Ingwe Alley that I've showed you about that runs from Twin Dams to Philemon's Dip? That might also be useful though, heading kind of towards there. No, they were, yeah, but from Weaver's Nest, Chelapan Road, not from the pan itself, from the Weaver's Nest, Chelapan Road junction. Okay, copy. Well, scenes like this are what we spend hours and hours out here hoping for. Well, she is slinking around in the area very close to where those two lions were this morning, which is a concern. Not a major concern. She's a big girl and she's been around for a long time, dodging lions. So, but it is something just to factor into the equation that you could bump into. It is thick here, so I'm not sure what we're going to do. But let's see if we can squeeze our way through here. Beautiful big open clearing here that she could pop into, so good short-term prospects, but I'm not sure how long this is going to last for because it is getting progressively thicker. There, got it. Now the nice thing about where we are now is that we may have a shot where we get to see her with the sunlight in our favor. Up until now we've been kind of looking in towards the sunlight. She's just on the other side of this fallen down tree that you can see to our right. There she is. You can see a few spots in there. She is moving towards us. She's currently in the block midway between Weaver's Nest and Twin Dams, north of Chelapan Road. Still mobile north. It's getting quite thick, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to stay with her. Oh, sorry, go again, Ephraim. No, copying you 0 out of 5. Sorry, buddy. She's veered off path and is now not heading to where I thought she was. But that could change. And we'll just be patient rather than crashing around too much. Very important for them to stop and assess situations, as you've seen her doing since we've been following her. Taking out some time to do some grooming. And also just so important to stop and listen. As I mentioned, there are other potential threats to even leopard out here, and that comes in the form of other leopard, lion, wild dogs, hyena. So simply from a safety perspective, it's important for them to stop and assess, listen, smell. But also from a hunting perspective, if she was charging around from A to B, she could flush away a lot of potential prey. But by stopping like this, blessings, Andrew. By stopping like this, it increases the likelihood of not blundering any good hunting opportunities.
Flat cat.
There she popped down. Okay. Well, let's get a little bit closer then, seeing as though she appears to have got comfortable there. Well, what an afternoon it's been so far. You really couldn't hope for anything better than this. So I hope you're all enjoying it. She's heard something, or did hear something. You could certainly tell by her body language. It could simply be because it is a bit windy, and in windy conditions even predators will be alert. But it could simply be leaves rustling in the wind, and nothing necessarily approaching. But a very difficult noise to distinguish between, I guess. A rustle caused by the wind as opposed to one caused by an animal approaching or an animal on the move. And just to keep you updated on Brent's movements, he's temporarily left Konuma because there's not too much action going on there, and it can be boring sitting in one place for 3 hours waiting for an animal to do something. Especially also when he knows that there's other potential great sightings out here. So he's fishing around for the 2 lion that we saw this morning, and it's a great way to invest his time. He knows Konuma will in all likelihood only get active when it gets a bit cooler, and he plans to head back there then. Therefore, in the meantime, he can search for other interesting animals. Karula, you're the only animal that I've actually seen catch something here at Djuma, and I don't mind if we keep it that way. You're more than welcome to show us your hunting skills this afternoon. So whenever you're ready, after you've done your cleaning, we will hang around and follow you doing your thing. there are so many little burrs and seeds that have got some kind of a sticky nature that will stick onto fur or even our legs as we walk through the bush. So the short time that she has actually spent moving through the bush this afternoon, she would have picked up a lot of burrs and seeds on her coat, as well as small thorns on the pads of her feet, as well as ticks and other ectoparasites. So understandably, she does need to spend a lot of time grooming herself in order to look so pretty and keep in good condition. And it's time to do the other side, one would think. Brent, come in. And what's your position? Okay, Cobby, what's your plans? She's lying up now basically midway between Twin Dams and Weaver's Nest, 50 meters north of Chilapan Road. Basically, if you pop out onto Twin Dams and start heading north, it'll be your first road to the west. Yellow. Yeah, I would do that. I would do Twin Dams onto Ingwe Alley, back down onto Weaver's Nest, and then back on Chilapan Road. And that way you've done the block and possibly can go back to Konuma if that's what you want to do. I've been really surprised at how quickly Brent has learnt the roads in this area. He's certainly got a knack for it. We'll keep an eye on what she may be hearing over there, because she certainly does seem to be listening quite intently on that side, and I don't think it's the leaves rustling in the wind. Anyway, as I was saying regarding Brent, he has learnt the road network incredibly quickly, which he should be commended for. But in the same breath, there's a lot of roads where the definitive junctions or beginnings of the name of a road are a little bit blurry, and he still has a little bit of a way to go. And I even find myself learning little bits and pieces about the road networks still after being here for over 3 months now, whereas he's only been here a week and has done exceptionally well in that short period of time.
I'm trying to make her look like a sphinx, but it's not working out.
We're not perpendicular enough to her, but she has assumed sphinx pose. But sadly there's a tree in the way to get the perfect perpendicular shot. But I like where your head's at, Andrew. I've just heard a bit more noise coming in the direction she's looking in, and I think it could be the elephants approaching, the same elephant we potentially saw earlier, I heard a relatively loud crashing noise, sounding similar to that of an elephant working its way through some thicker vegetation. So who knows, maybe we'll have some leopards joining us shortly. Did I say leopards or elephants? I think I may have said leopards. Some elephants. The good thing about us being positioned here silently is that the two young lion that have been separated from their pride are in this area, and they were letting off a few soft contact calls this morning, hoping that their pride would hear them. And by us being stationary now and listening, we could potentially hear those contact calls. She would certainly hear them before us and alert us to the direction any strange noise is coming from, which is useful. When I say she, I mean Karula, the leopard, because that would be a frequency she would be tuned into, for obvious reasons. She looks fairly full-bellied, so I've been surprised that she's been on the move, but leopards are animals that always surprise us, and it's not uncommon for them to move in the heat of the day, even in the height of summer. But the good news for her is that her belly seems fairly full, and I wonder what she's been snacking on for the last few days. When was the last time we saw her? The last time we saw her was, I think, when she was walking off with a steenbok's skull in her mouth, finishing off a steenbok kill, which was probably Friday or Saturday last week. So that was the last time we saw her. She either has made a big kill that she's been feeding on for a few days since then, or she's been sustaining herself with smaller kills. They're highly opportunistic and will feed on anything from a tiny baby bird up to an animal of larger size than themselves, like a big male impala. For her would be an example of an an animal bigger than herself that she could take down. I can hear a few more bushes crunching nearby, not in the direction she's facing, kind of behind her. Just a few more elephants around, possibly buffalo, scratching their heads and adorning their horns on bushes. Those are my two guesses as to what could be creating the noise. Well, go ahead, Brent. Copy, thanks, boss. We can hear them. Where are you now? I think there's one to the south of us and one to the north of us. Copy, thank you. So from that junction there, not far north, probably 30 meters, 40 meters north is where we last had them this morning. And they continued kind of north and east into that block. Did you check Ingwe Alley? Okay, copy. Well, Brent just got a hold of us saying he's not far from here searching for these lion, and he said the breeding herd is on their way to us, or a breeding herd of elephants. There could be several. Exactly in the direction where she is looking now. Well done, Roy. Do you copy that, Brent? Wonderful. Well,